Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of NBA to the Galaxy podcast, presented to you by DSM Media, as well as your host, myself, Slim. You can follow me on X at R2R30111. You can follow the other host here at Scotty Drown. And as you can see by the title today, Kuminga demanded a trade from Golden State yesterday, and the Morant Suitors are definitely heating up as we get closer and closer to the trade deadline. It's going to be a fun episode for sure. We got a special guest joining us. We will introduce him shortly. But before we dive into any topics, my guy, how you feeling this fine Friday?
I'm feeling really good. So good that I have myself on mute. Happy Friday, bro.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I'm very excited. You already hit the nail on the head. We got a guest joining us. I'm excited for that. We're going to get into some interesting topics with the guest, which will certainly be fun. It's the first time for me and Slim. So I know we've been doing the pod for a little over a year, maybe multiple years at this point. We'll have to retrace that. But
2 years.
yeah, 2 years, bruh. And we have not had a guest on the show. So I'm excited to get him in here. But happy Friday, bruh.
Yeah, man. So, straight out the gate, let's introduce him, man. My guy's a Washington Wizards fan. He go by the DMV Unfiltered as his own YouTube channel, talk about the Wizards, so on and so forth. I'll make sure to leave the link in the comment section when we get done with the live stream. But welcome to the show, bro, and glad to have you on.
Hey, man, thanks for having me, man. Like I said before, man, it's like a full circle moment, man. I've been watching this podcast for a cool 2-3 months, been seeing clips on TikTok, man. So it's like a full circle, man. I'm glad to be on here, man.
Yes, sir, sure.
I love the excitement. Let's get it. And look, Slim, I don't know if you peeped this on the earlier show, but we getting reposts through X now. So I guess that's a new feature on StreamYard. Happy to have that. But no, let's get into it, bro. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, I peeped that though, but I just seen that.
Reposted the stream.
Yeah, that's tough for real. But now, let's start with the biggest name floating around the deadline, Morant. Before we dive into any teams, I know you seen it, Scotty. Did you see when Morant and Vince Williams got into it, DMV?
Yeah, I did see it, man, and it was kind of funny, but it's like, come on, what you doing, man? It's like you lowering your trade value down a little bit, man. You can't be doing stuff like that, man. It's a time and place for everything, man. But
yeah.
Funny, man. I wanted to know what they was really talking about and arguing about, but I don't know. What was y'all thoughts on that?
Man, honestly, they said it was really nothing. They said it was just kind of bumping heads over a play or something. I don't know how true that is, but it could be. Basketball, bro. You go butt heads is all part of the game for real. So it could have just been nothing.
Could have been.
Yeah, it could have been, right? And I do like your point, DMV. You didn't have to do that, when the cameras are there. You're overseas. This is a big spot for the NBA. But no, I think Ja is at that point in Memphis where anything he does in public, if he walks off the court after getting subbed and makes a certain face towards the coach, it's going to result in some type of report, some type of rumor about him wanting out, him demanding out. So that's just where his tenure is at with the Memphis Grizzlies, man. But I'm interested to see what teams would be interested in trading for Ja Morant. That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if you got any teams, bro. Do you got any teams off the top of your head?
I'm not going to lie. It's only one team that I can think of because it's don't get me wrong. Ja Morant is a phenomenal player, bro. Even when he played our Wizards, my Wizards, the last game he played, he had 21 points and 7 assists. Yeah. And even though he's been injured this season, he's still a great player. Don't get me wrong. He's still a great player. Last year, he only played 50 games. He averaged 23, 7, and 4 in only 50 games. So he's still a great player. But the thing that, I think that will flunk his trade value down is his decisions on and off the court. You got to understand it. The NBA is a professional league. It's some things you can and cannot do as a professional player, So even though it's just because you don't see guys like Anthony Edwards doing stuff that he does, and stuff like that. Some teams, they don't want that, because team it might bring down the team chemistry or the team morality or anything like that. They just don't want that. They just don't want that. So only team I can see him really going to is probably the team the Miami Heat wants to compete, because he's this year he's only making $39 million, Next year he'll be making $42 million, and then the year after I think he'll be making $44 million. So that's like trading for a guy with that high of a price is like you're getting a guy who, yes, when healthy, he's a great player offensively and stuff like that. But like, is it worth it? Having all that off the court and on the court shenanigans, is it worth it? You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's kind of hard, man. Some teams don't want that on their team. So it's like,
Yeah. What you think, Slim?
I agree. I mean, it's just like, once you're labeled a franchise of a team, you have to hold yourself to a certain type of standard. And Ja hasn't necessarily been doing that for the most part. You go back to a few years back with the gun situation numerous of times, not just one time. And seeing him and Vince Williams kind of get into it, not necessarily a good look to be like the franchise player of a team. But things happen. But I would have to agree. I think Miami would be the top team that should try to trade for him. I think it could do wonders for him because we know the Heat culture, may just get him right for real. He may be more disciplined. And we all know Pat Riley ain't going for that bullshit down there in Miami, bro. So, yeah, I think that would make the most sense for real, though.
I do like that pick just because of what you said right there, like the culture. You have a team that has the structure to kind of sustain or maintain whatever job might want to get himself into. I think that Eric Spoelstra, the experience that they bring, I think they could kind of get him in line. I know I can't remember, Slim. I know you brought up another team before.
Yeah, they say Sacramento is among the clubs with real interest in Ja. They very interested to bring him in over there. I don't know how much sense it make, but
after trading De'Aaron, right? Like,
and it's like Sacramento, you're stuck in mediocre land right now. And as a Wizards fan, I know all about that, bro. It's not good to be stuck in mediocre land, man. I think this is rebuild, man. Rebuild. Start off from scratch. You getting Ja Morant is not really going to do anything. Not saying Ja Morant is a bad player. That's not what I'm saying at all. But Ja Morant isn't going to take that team to the next level.
To a championship. Yeah.
They're just going to be stuck in mediocrity.
Yeah. But I think a team like Minnesota, low-key, could go out there and make an offer for Ja. I think it makes somewhat sense. I mean, they got Rob Dillingham. They're not playing him over there. Just make the money work. Throw in Rob, maybe a few picks. It'd be like a low risk, high reward type of deal in the end. So
yeah. Because I think for the T-Wolves, that is a championship piece, right? Like that is an elevating piece
for sure. Yeah,
compared to what they have at the guard spot.
You think Ja Morant going to the Timberwolves, taking Timberwolves to the championship?
I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm just saying that it can be viewed as a step that can get you to that level. It's not like that, but you start to think about it. The fit, right? What does the fit look like with Ja and Edwards? And then I assume you're going to keep Julius Randle.
Yeah, you give it like Nas Reed, somebody like that.
Nas Reed.
Did the contracts match up? I think they do.
Nas Reed, probably like Rob, maybe Dante. No, Mike Conley gone for sure. Mike Conley going back to the M in that deal. I can see that happen.
You think they taking Mike Conley for a job? They don't.
Yeah, I mean he can end his career off in Memphis. You know?
I was thinking about it like that. You right.
Because it's gonna have to be draft compensation for him, right? Like that's gonna be the main part of it, and then you throw in a Rob. That's a nice young player for my money, like to get in return. Throw in the chip in player like Dante DiVincenzo, right? Like that. He's just kind of like a throw-in piece, right? Like it's not to be disrespectful. I think he's a good role player, but you throw that in. Nas Reed and Julius Randle is where I'm like, can you just put Julius in instead of Nas Reed? But maybe Nas Reed is what makes the deal, right? Like that's the value.
Yeah.
Now go ahead, Slim. Go ahead.
You got to keep Rudy. You got to keep Jaden, bro. You got to.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
One guy you got to keep is Dante too. I think trading away Dante would kind of mess them up too, because don't forget Dante's a great 3-and-D player, and that's what added Ja's not really that effective beyond the arc. He's shooting below 30%. I think below 30% beyond the arc. And it's like, I'm not saying that's going to mess up the spacing, but like you trading away Dante, that's kind of, he's a great 3-and-D type of guy. So like, what's that looking like, man? You gotta. In order for teams to be good and to compete, you have to have some role players, some 3-and-D guys around. So I feel as though trading away Dante is like, I don't know.
Who's taking that spot, right, in the rotation?
That's the thing. I don't know.
I mean, it's a good point for sure. But to be fair, though, I mean, Dante did kind of wet the bed in the postseason. Last year, he didn't really he was open. He really wasn't making shots. Obviously he does the other things, rebound, take charge, things of that nature. But you're going to need those shots to fall. And, you can always get Memphis to give you like another solid player. Maybe they can get somebody like, Vince in that regard, just an example. So
I mean, that would be a nice swap. I don't know. You know who I do love? Just as a complete side note, I do love. Is it Santi Aldama from the Grizzlies?
Oh, you do, huh?
He's a nice piece. Yeah. They would not include him. I don't think they would move him in that deal because that would just be ridiculous. I feel.
You're tampering on live. Okay, you tampering. You want him to come down into Philly? I see.
Hey, I do want him in Philly. He would be perfect.
Oh, you a Philly fan?
Yeah. I'm a Sixers fan. I'm interested to hear thoughts on that alone, though. Like.
Sixers fan, yeah.
How do you feel about the Sixers? I'm curious.
I mean, they doing their thing. I'm kind of confused about the Jared McCain situation over there, man. Yeah. I remember one time when they was playing the Wizards a couple games ago, he got some garbage time minutes. Last year, he was hooping. He was doing his thing. You could never say he was, I want to say, rookie of the year candidate before like a couple months. He was up there looking like a rookie candidate. So now it's like, why is he getting garbage time minutes? I don't know what's going on over there, man. But it's like they got a cool young, they got a cool core over there. But it's a matter of thing about what are they going to do in the postseason? How will Embiid be injured? Like it all takes a toll to that, man.
No, I feel that. I can respect that. I was just curious where your like starting point with the Sixers is on this show. Yeah, I know Slim gets annoyed with me and the Sixers on here. I was just curious. Bro. I mean, that's fair. That's all fair.
Like I showed the Sixers love. Like I had Jared McCain win the Rookie of the Year before he went down with the injury. I just thought he was on a trajectory to win it. Like when you look at the type of season he was having, the numbers he was putting up, pretty efficient from the field, kind of put his name out there. So just unfortunate injuries, man, but it's all part of the game. So take it.
VJ gave me life back though. Like I got a future now. I didn't have a future.
That's fair.
Maxey and VJ, I got a future now.
VJ has moving. He kind of remind me like a young Jimmy Butler, just a little bit.
You gotta get a little bit bigger, but I do feel you. In the skill set for sure. I did want to follow up, bro. Said Ja Morant shoot under 30%. He shoot under 21% from the 3-point line. So you weren't wrong.
Oh, I just went that.
Yeah, 20.8% from the 3-point line.
Ja got to work on that blicky, man. He got to work on that, bro.
Yeah, you can't be carrying the blicky and shoot like that from 3.
Yeah, you got to work on that, bro. For real.
You're not wrong, bro.
But it's like
that's all I got on Ja, nonetheless. Hey, he said warrior. Boot him.
You want to read something?
What's that mean? Gotta hate it.
That's funny. Speaking of Warriors, though, let's shift gears over to Jonathan Kuminga. My guy has demanded a trade yesterday. Yesterday was the first day he was eligible to be moved. But, he said Kuminga need to go. That's funny. But anyway, speaking of Jonathan Kuminga, bro, like as a Warriors fan, bro, this guy has been with us for 5 seasons. It's been very frustrating to see this back and forth go on between Steve Kerr, the front office, and Jonathan Kuminga on his side. But to be fair, though, I do feel Kuminga in a sense. Like when you look at the 2021 draft class, the year he came in, I look at guys like Franz Wagner, definitely is on a trajectory to be a perennial all-star in this league, all-NBA type of player. Evan Mobley, Defense Player of the Year, got paid, all-star. Cade Cunningham, that dude for the Detroit Pistons. Şengün doing his thing down there in Houston, all-star caliber player. Starting center, Trey Murphy, the player he's blossoming into, 22 point per game type score. I go on and on. But the fact of the matter is when you look at guys that got drafted in the lottery, the one thing that stands out is that those guys have solidified themselves on their team. They have solid roles, no changing it. We look at Kuminga on the back end of that, bro. It's just complete opposite. It's just been like he's been auditioning for the Warriors for the past 5 seasons. He's in the rotation. He's out of the rotation. Just been the same thing for the past 5 years. And to be fair, I just think it's just time to move on. It sucks that it got this far, but the fact that the matter is just time to move on. So I'm saying that, man, which teams around the league do you guys think actually give Kuminga the chance to kind of show his true talent? Whether that be getting him over the hump or just him showcase his true skills in a sense. Like, which team you think give him the best chance to do that?
I think any team that has a center that they can get. To be honest, I can't really speak on Jonathan Kuminga because I don't really watch that many Warriors games. But last year he averaged like 15, 4, and 2, right?
Yeah.
And the year before that, he averaged 16, 4, and 2, correct? And he was shooting over 50% from the field. So it's like when he gets playing time, he can score a lot. So I don't know what's really going on for them. But I do know that the Warriors need a center. They need a center bad. They keep running this small ball offense. It's not working. So if you're looking to trade Jonathan Kuminga, you need to trade him for a center. And not just a weak center. You need a buff center, like a guy like Jared Allen or something. Not saying that you can get Jared Allen, but go out there and have a skill set. Because you got to think about it, man. The NBA is evolving. It's not back in 2022 when that's when y'all won the championship. I had James Wiseman and that other center, and you had Jeremiah at the center too. All that small ball play. The NBA involved, man. You can't play small. Small balls doesn't win. You look at the team like Thunder. You have Isaiah and Chet. You look at the team
Thunder.
You look like the Cavs. You got Mobley and Allen. You look at all the all the teams that's competing. They have big lineups. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They have big lineups, man. You can't keep going small ball. And I think that's what the Warriors' mistake is right now. So if you're looking to trade Kuminga, you need to trade him to a team where you can get a center from, if that makes sense.
Well, that's what I was gonna kind of ask, because I have an idea, and I saw some ideas on ESPN that kind of inspired the idea, but I did want to ask Slim, when you look at Kuminga's value, because you see him more than we do at this point, right? Like, I mean, maybe with the minutes that have gone down, like, I don't even know about that, but you know what I mean? You've seen him over the years. You know what he's still at, where his talent level's at. Do you think that his value is still at a place where he, like, has control on where he would go? Do you know what I mean by that? Like, to DMV's point, like, the Warriors should just do what's best for them to get something in return that works for them and like competing for a championship. Like, where do you see Kuminga's value on your team right now? Because I'll throw this out. I'll throw my idea out there. I was thinking the Brooklyn Nets, right? Because to your point, Slim, Kuminga, go be the guy, right? Like, we see Michael Porter Jr. being the guy. Michael Porter Jr., he's an option, right? Like, I think he would be a good piece for y'all team. Like, that wouldn't be a bad piece. But they do have like a Nick Claxton, right? Like, serviceable big man, like not a powerhouse per se, but he's quality, and I think he would be quality for the Warriors, but something like that. But is that like too low of like an offer for like a Jonathan Kuminga?
Absolutely not. I mean, Claxton would help us more than he would hurt us, for real. Like, Kuminga value isn't just that high, for real. You know what I'm saying? He started the year off doing his thing. He was fitting in, making plays, defending at a high level. I get it to him. But since then, just kind of hit a rough patch, bro, and just makes kind of inconsistent. It's not necessarily his fault neither. Like, Steve Kerr hasn't just done an amazing job of putting him in the best position to succeed, for real, for being honest and being fair. But us getting somebody like Nick Claxton for Kuminga, I consider that a huge win. You know, Claxton would instantly help his team. Talking about a guy that can block shots, catch lobs. His jumper has been kind of iffy, but it's something that can get developed over time. He's a smart, high IQ player. You said screens, things of that nature. But us getting somebody like that will help more than it will hurt. Now, to answer your other question about is his value good enough to where he can necessarily pick where he can go opposed to not, I would have to say no. Like, Trae Young was able to say, I want to go to Washington, and they made that happen for him. Kuminga can't just say, "Hey, I want to go to Brooklyn," and
Right.
it's just we doing that for you. Like, no, we're doing that for the betterment of this team. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way you can veer from that lens. So yeah, I would have to say that.
How did he get here, yo? Like,
I was just about to ask. I was literally just about to ask.
Man, it started. Let me say the year after we won the chip, the 22-23 season. I guess he just thought he was gonna get more minutes in the rotation or whatnot, but him and Steve Kerr just been kind of butting heads ever since. I mean, the man even went out publicly and said something to Sean Sharunia. This is before Shams had signed ESPN. He was still with the Athletic back then, and they had released a public article. Kuminga just basically said he wasn't happy with the playing time he was getting, so on and so forth. But him and Steve Kerr never just had a good relationship for real, bro. They always been butting heads, And to be fair, I can kind of look at both sides and agree. The way Steve Kerr view guys, you pretty familiar with Guy Santos, Scotty. You seen when he played against the Sixers, the things he was doing. That's the type of player he want Kuminga to be, just that impact type of player, doing the dirty work, getting rebounds, getting his knees burnt, things of that nature. But Kuminga, on the other hand, bro, he wants to be that guy. He wants to get buckets. He wants to do things like that. And Steve Kerr don't really just veer it that way. So in saying that, just kind of been unfortunate, which is why I say it's just time to move on for both parties, So, yeah.
I mean, could you blame him? I mean, last year he was averaging like 15, 4, and 2, in 47 games. And the year before that, he was averaging 16, 4, and 2.
Yeah.
So, like, could you blame him?
You know what the doubt, and this is from outside, like looking in, right?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it fell apart for him when Jimmy came, right? Like the overlap, like they're kind of similar players in a sense. Like obviously Jimmy's better, but like they just play in the same areas. Am I wrong for thinking that? Like,
no, you're not. But I will say this though, to the DMV point, he mentioned Kuminga averaging 16. When he went on that run, Draymond was suspended. He was out the lineup. So now when we healthy, he just really don't fit for real. He don't really just fit next to Jimmy and Draymond like that. They can make it work, but it's not consistent for real. Right. So when he went on that run, Draymond had got suspended some games for choking Rudy and slapping Nurkic that year. And even last year when he went on the run, that was kind of before we got Jimmy. When we got Jimmy, it just was kind of like a toss-up for real, to Scotty's point. Kind of the same skill set, so it wouldn't just make sense to kind of work anyway. But Kuminga nice for sure. He just need to go to a different team. Like he just don't fit this timeline what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we got next? I think I know what we got next.
Yeah, man. We got a Wizards fan on the show.
Yes, sir.
Thought I'd be saying that. So let's talk about Trae Young, man. Brother Trae Young has been traded to the Washington Wizards. Me and Scotty kind of talked about this last pod, but we'll do you a solid since you're on the pod. We kind of revisit that conversation because the truth of the matter is, we don't really discuss trash teams like that on this podcast. For being honest, but to be fair, you guys are.
I was not expecting that.
You guys are rebuild, so let's talk about it. So, as a Wizards fan, do you see Trae Young as a centerpiece of this team moving forward?
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you why. First, I'm not gonna sit here and say like I wanted Trae Young from the beginning. I didn't. I wanted more of like a taller point guard because the league is developing into taller guards. The undersized guards are they're vanishing, right? So, but in life, you gotta make do with the situation. So I'm making do with this situation, man. First of all, in only 10 games this year, Trae Young averaged 19 and 8 in only 10 games. So people who saying he's washed, he's trash, he's this. No, he's been injured. He's been injured. I hate that. He's been injured. Last year, he averaged 24 and 11. He literally led the league in total assists. Now I want y'all to realize we have a guy named Alex Sarr on our roster, right? I think he's leading the league in blocks, if I'm not mistaken. Mind you, he hasn't had a real – last year, okay, I admit, he was iffy. But this year, he's skyrocketing, man.
He's legit.
Without a point guard. So now you add a point guard who literally led the league in total assists last year and made guys like John Collins and Clint Capella nice. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Not only Alex Saw. Not only Alex Saw. You got guys like Trae Johnson that can learn. Trae Johnson that can learn from. Trae Johnson already, in my opinion, he the best shooter out the draft. But that's a story for another day. But you got guys like Trae Johnson. Guys like that's a fact. I like that. You got guys like Bub Currington who can learn from his game. Last year, he played all 82 games as a rookie. Name me one rookie who can play all 82 games as a rookie. Exactly. My point is exactly. Then you got guys like Bilal Coulibaly. Yes, I understand Bilal Coulibaly. He's not there offensively yet, but on the defensive end, he's one of the I can calmly say with confidence he's a top 10 on-ball defender. And I don't care what anybody says. Watch the highlights, man. Watch the tapes. He leads our team in steals this year. In steals this year, and he averaged like a block per game, man. Mm-hmm. He is a dog. He reminds me. Once he just gets a shot, a fluent shot, a consistent shot, man, the ceiling is high for him. And even if he doesn't just develop a shot, because everybody can't be an offensive juggernaut, right? Everybody can't be Steph Curry. Look at guys like Dyson Daniels. Dyson Daniels has been playing terrible. I mean, not playing terrible. He's been shooting the ball.
Shooting the ball. Even
and nobody's been saying anything about that because he's a great defender, right? Yeah. Bilal is a great defender. You feel what I'm saying? So Bilal, right? Trae Young can make Bilal look great, right? On the offensive end. Trae Young can make guys like Keyshawn George look great, right? Keyshawn George, he's like 6'8", 6'9". He can play the one, shoot the ball, rebound very well, great defender. He's a bucket, man. Averaging 15 points. I think it's like 15, 14 points this season. Then you got guys like, we got some more guys on this team. I'm just thinking about the guys that's really on the top of my head. But we got a lot of guys on that team. We have the best young core in the NBA right now. I don't care what.
I want to say all that, brother.
Whoa.
I wouldn't go too far to say all that, but I feel you though.
Wait.
We talked about this. I think we compared the
we did.
Hornets.
We talked about that.
The Hornets and the Wizards.
Hornets better young core than us.
I do think the Hornets. You say Trae Johnson's the best shooter out the draft. I don't know. Nipple does exist.
Okay.
Oh man, no, I definitely feel.
Nipple is that dude. I'm not hating on Trae Johnson either. I love Trae Johnson. To be clear,
I take that back. I can't switch up on Khan. I forget that quick though. That's tough.
Okay.
I do think it's Trae Johnson and Khan for that competition. Like
Khan is for sure that.
He's lethal though.
What about Alexa? What about Keyshawn George? What about Bilal Coulibaly?
No, not hating on. Not hating.
I'm not saying hate it. I'm not saying hate it, but we could.
Yeah, I feel you for sure.
I do. I want to ask you though, like when you look at the Hawks trading Trae Young away, why didn't they feel like Trae Young could do that for Dyson Daniels and for Jalen Johnson? Right? Because like I'm thinking about Keyshawn George. He does like to have the ball in his hands. He does like to play make.
Right.
How does it hamper him down a little bit and take the ball out of his hands a little bit?
I'm about to tell you. First of all, you got to look at they have totally different playing styles, right? Totally different playing styles.
It's fair.
Right? And then you got to think about it. Trae Young already has proof. The new guy's with his friend. Yes, I am. Right? Trae Young already has a resume under his belt of getting players to the next, not the next level, but elevating their game. Look at John Collins. I forgot what season it was, but John Collins was hooping that one season. Look at Clint Capella.
They went to the semifinals, yeah.
Exactly. Look at Clint Capella, man. He
knocked us out.
Look, Clint Capella. He had a career rebounding year. He led the league in rebounding that year when he was playing with Trae Young. So it's not saying that Trae Young can't make other guys better. He most definitely can. The only reason I guess
that's fair.
He hasn't made Dyson Daniels or Jalen Johnson better. Man, you can't compare them, man. He was injured this year, man. He only played 10 games. What you want him to do? What you want him to do? Last year, bro, he literally led the league in total assists, man. Dyson Daniels, his job isn't to score. His job is to defend. His job is to defend. You can't compare that. Keyshawn George's job is not to defend. His job is to put the basket in the ball. You cannot compare that.
No doubt. I'm thinking of Coulibaly in the Dyson Daniels.
Okay, Coulibaly.
Right? I'm thinking of him in that role. Defensive oriented.
Okay, let me tell you about Coulibaly. Coulibaly, he came into the league as a offensive prospect. And when I say offensive prospect, I mean that we didn't really know what he had offensively, if that makes sense. Trae Young, you can have when you have Trae Young playing on one, you can move Bilal around on the court. You can have him in the dunker spot. You can have him kind of move around the corner, catching lobs. We haven't seen a lot of Bilal. He's a high flyer, man. He's an underrated high flyer. You can have Bilal backdoor and cut going for the lobs. That can elevate his game to the much level. You got to think about it. Catching a lob, I used to hoop, bro. If I could be able to catch a lob, bro, you know how much momentum that would give me, man? That brings so much momentum. My guy, you're not telling us, man, you just gotta believe. You gotta he said the same thing about the Pistons.
Man, it's tough, man.
They was making fun of the Thunder. It was making
all these teams. Whoa, so you like Trae Young is about to Cade Cunningham this shit? Like, is that what I'm hearing?
You said that. I didn't say that. You said that. I didn't say that. But I'm gonna piggyback up. You said that. I didn't say that. You said that. I didn't say that. But what I can say,
I agree, bro.
I agree. Can say is, you know, we're going to have a lot of cap space this summer, right? We're going to have a lot of cap space.
That's true. That's true.
To have a top 3 pick. You know, there's been reports that I'm not saying reports, but people want to play for Washington, man. People want to play for Washington. Get that out your head. Why you think Trae Young came in? Just get paid? No, man. He see a young core, man. He said you got to think bigger, man. People are going to want to play, and you got to think about it.
I feel you.
You get a guy like Boozer, right? Get a guy like Boozer, pair him up to Sarr. That elevates Sarr games to the next level, right? It elevates his game to the next level. And then we go into free agency. We get guys like just guys that can play our type of basketball. Man, we and the East is already terrible. Let's be honest. The East is already terrible. Nobody thought the Pacers were going to make the finals last year. Let's be honest. Nobody. I'm not saying we're going to make the finals, but it's unpredictable, man. The East is unpredictable. So, with that being said, we have potential with a lot of money this offseason with a top pick. You know, we play our cards right through the draft. We already have. We're going to have like 2 picks, really speaking, in the first round pick. We got the OKC first round pick, and we're going to have that next pick. That we trade to next. So we good. And we got a lot of second round picks too this draft too. So if we play our cards right, man, we can be something serious. And we're gonna be a team to watch for. Mark my words. I'm saying this on your podcast.
Okay. You saying it on the pod.
Next year, the Wizards will be a play-in team or a playoff team. Mark my words.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. You know, I get it to you. But you brought up great points. You mentioned Dyson, you know, him kind of struggling shooting the ball. And you mentioned Bilal Coulibaly. My advice to those guys, sooner or later, y'all got to get better with that because I look at guys like Andre Roberson, was a damn good defender in the league, but offensively, he couldn't buy a shot, and ultimately, he ended up out the league. Other guys come to mind, guys like Tony Allen, one of the greatest on-ball defenders ever. But you talk about like longevity in the league, you got to expand your game for the betterment of your career for sure. Absolutely. But, yeah, man, when you look at Hornets, the Charlotte Hornets, they have a nice young core over there. Zion James, Brandon Miller, Ryan, Con Knueppel, like you go on and on. Washington, they have a great young core as well, but it's kind of a toss-up for sure in terms of like who has the best young core in the league because it's a lot of young teams. Even Utah, they got a solid young core down there. Yeah. You know, Keontae George and all those guys. So, but I definitely agree. I think next year the Washington Wizards would be a team. They could be in the play-in, maybe playoff range, just depending on what they do in the offseason. That's what it ultimately matters for sure.
Yeah,
a lot of great talking points.
Yeah, I can agree with playing, especially in the East. I think it is possible to like flip in an off season. I think that's possible. Y'all do have a couple good like young players that I like love. Like Trey Johnson was one of my favorites coming out of the draft, and like coming from a team that got VJ Edgecombe, I wouldn't have been mad at the time if they took Trey Johnson with that pick. So like, that's how highly I was thinking of him coming out of the draft. I look at the roster and I do think there's a little bit of overlap. Like, and the reason I think this pops in my head is because you brought up Jared McCain earlier and like how did he fall out of minutes in Philly? And it's because Quentin Grimes stepped up. He proved that he was a better fit. You got VJ in the draft. He's just better for the team right now. And then you have Maxey, who's just playing at this, you know, all-star MVP level, whatever you want to call it. So McCain falls out of line. I'm looking at like the overlap of Trae Johnson, Coulibaly, Trae Young. You also have Bub Carrington, who you mentioned earlier. You got Cam Whitmore. So I know like all of these aren't point guards. Like I do understand that, but it's just a lot of guards in that young core. So I guess what I'm trying to say is like I really could see y'all like maybe flipping two of these pieces into one type of thing to put something next to Trae Young and Sar and really like boost this thing to the next level. It's not that I'm saying like, oh, trade Trae Johnson. I'm not saying that. I would try to hold on to him. But if you had to pair, trying to be modest, right? Like to get like a side, it's hard to come up with that off the top of your head. I'm not even going to try to do that. But if you had to get rid of two of those players, I think the ones I would want to hold on to, George, Trae Johnson, and Sar, I think the rest of them you would have to consider if it got you a starting lineup piece next to those pieces.
No.
Maybe it's Trae Johnson instead of Coulibaly, if that's like where your dividing point is. Like I'm not saying that. I'm just saying some of those young players, those young guards.
Yeah, for sure.
Starting lineup piece next to
Trae Trae Young coming over, like somebody getting their minutes cut for sure. Right. Like you gonna have to make a business decision. You know, somebody. You know.
All right. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm I'm saying no, and why I'm trading none of our guys and just letting our guys build through.
Bro.
Look at the team like the Thunder, right? You want to know why they're so good? Because they have team chemistry. They build. They stayed down through those hard years, bro. You just don't go out. Name me one team, right, who went out and traded their young guys in the process of them getting better, and it worked out for them. Just not even trying to be fun. Just name me one team, like, because I don't even know. I'm just asking you two.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back through the seasons, right?
You said a team that traded their young players and they got better.
Yeah,
the Knicks traded their draft compensation, right? Like they traded their whole chest of draft comp,
right,
to get Mikal Bridges, to get Cat. Like so on and so forth, but they don't have a championship yet.
Right, exactly. So my point is that in order for a team to really expand, because we're not trying to be mediocre. Well, I'm not trying to be mediocre, bro. We've been mediocre. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm not trying to be mediocre. I want to get to the big leagues, man. Like where the Thunder was at, man, and how the Thunder was at, man. They built through those hard times, man. They was trash. Look at the Pistons too. They were terrible, man. You know why they're so good now? I think they're like number 2, number 1 in the East because they built together. They stuck together through all those hard times, man. That's what good young teams do. That's how it builds chemistry, man. You don't trade away your young guys and think that, oh yeah, we're going to get a star and he's going to come in and change it around. No, you don't do that, man. That's not what rebuilds do. Because at the end of the day, just because we traded for Trae Young, that doesn't mean we're not rebuilding. We're still rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? But we're just I ain't gonna have mediocre. Might be a good. Oh, come on. Why is the Wizards catching so many strays? See, this is what y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see, man. Y'all gonna see.
Well, because I'm just looking it up, bro. I just want to be factually correct. Trae Young is okay. He's 27, so
still young.
I don't know, man. I feel you. I do feel you in the long term of youth prospects. I really do get it. I'm just wondering, like, who is the Cade of the group?
Okay.
Like, who is the SGA of the group?
You reading my mind,
of the group.
Okay. Reading my mind. You reading my mind.
I'm not hating. I'm honestly not hating. I'm just like I'm wondering. Like,
I feel you. The anchor. I say the anchor of the group is anchor. When you say anchor, you mean like the head of the head person, like the person who's running the show, right?
Yeah.
The head honcho.
Right?
It's either him or Sar. It's either him or Sar. It's either him or
Sar. Sar can develop. Okay.
It's either him or Sar. It's either him or Sar. You got to think about it. Sar developed so well this season without a real point guard. His only point guards he had was Jordan Poole, and he was Trae from That right there, like you have no source of like I hate people. You have no source at all. Like it's just your mind. Like it's just your mind. If you said you thinking that you have no source of that, right? But like I was saying, the only guard Alex Sarr had was Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole, yes, I'm not taking away nothing from him. Yes, he was a good guard, but he was more of a shot chucker type of guard, right? CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum is not a pass first type of guard, right? I watch all Wizards again. He doesn't pass at all. I'm not calling him a shot chucker, but he's not like a passing type of guard. He really never had no passing type of guards until Trae Young. Just imagine just imagine, man. Look what he did with John Collins, with Clint Capella, man. Come on.
I do get it. I watched Alex Sarr go up against Embiid, who obviously I have a lot of respect for Embiid and what he brings. I watched him go toe to toe with Embiid, and that's not to say Embiid is this world beater that you have to get past like this level or something, but he looked good. Like he looked like he belonged right there, and I think that's a big thing for a young player. But I just like, how close is he to being that anchor? You know what I mean? Like 2 years, 1 year, 3 years.
I say either next year or the year after that, because you got to think about it. He's already having a great. You can say all team defense. What's it called? 2 defense for the SGA for the Wizards, might not right. But you could say that Sarr is having a defensive year type of year this year. He's leading the league in blocks as a 20-year-old. As a 20-year-old. Bro. The other game, bro, I promise you, you look up Alex Sarr blocks right now. I guarantee you, I bet my life. If I'm wrong, I send all you guys $100, bro. He has over like 4+ games with 5 blocks combined, bro. I guarantee you, bro. Like, that's not that easy to do, bro. Do you know how hard it is to go out there to get 5 blocks almost not every game, but like, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like I understand you're 7 foot, yeah, but like it's a lot of 7-footers out there.
It's a lot of softies in the league for sure.
For sure.
He's not buff at all. He's not buff at all. And just wait till he gets to. Come on, y'all sleeping. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody thought the Pistons was going to turn it around, relatively speaking. I mean, they did, but nobody thought it was going to turn around that quickly. Nobody thought the Thunder was going to turn around.
I was just gonna. My bad, Slim. I was just gonna say, like, they did have Cade though. Like, Cade is just different. Okay,
yes. But see, here's my thing though, like with Trae, bro.
Yeah,
I think when you talk about this guy, like, he has so many limitations. Like, you have to cover up so many ground for him, like defensively. Obviously he's like undersized in a sense, so you have to build like the perfect team around him to cover up those liabilities in a sense. So when you look at a team like the Wizards, Sarr, that's check the list, big guy. But you look at like wing defenders, like, can they go big in a sense? Like, they got Colabal, they got George, but for the most part, those guys are young though, bro. Like Detroit, they got a nice mixture of vets with the young guys. Yeah. Guys like Tobias Harris, the guy that we used to talk a lot of shit about, but he's been pretty solid. Cash LeVert down there, Isaiah Stewart, I consider him a vet at this point, mixed in with the young guys as well. So,
that's respect though, Martian loyal. Martian loyal.
Hey, Slim, not mean to cut you off, bro, but that's where you go into the offseason for, man. This year, we're not looking to be good, right? Okay. That's what you go into the offseason for, to get these guys, man. Like we have a lot of money, man. We traded Ray Corey. If we would have, okay, let me put it into perspective, right? Outside of Trae Young, the highest person we're paying on this team is Alex Sarr, and he's on his rookie deal, and that's $11 million. Just put that into perspective, man. Just put that into perspective. We already traded away Corey Kispert. Corey Kispert was $13 million. We were going to pay him $13 million last year. So outside of Trae Young, right? Say we get him a new deal, right? Up to like $40 million. Cool. We have endless money to work with, man. Come on, man. Yeah. Come on, man. Come on.
Y'all gotta hit on them signings though, for sure.
We got it. We do.
Yeah, for sure. I see what you're getting at, for sure. Like, it takes time. It takes time. You can't do it overnight. I think a good goal, like, I think at the end of it all, like, because you got some energy, bro, like, to the point where it almost, I almost thought you were going to say they're going to the championship. Like,
hey, we might.
Like, that's the type of hype that I'm seeing. I feel it. I love it. I think you did conclude with a realistic. Like, they could get into the play-in next year. Like, I think that's very possible. Play-in, 8 seed type of situation in the East, because the East is weak for one. But we've seen teams like Detroit, they have flipped it overnight. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think that is a possibility depending on the route y'all take. I mean, you still got Chris Middleton, I think, is on the roster. He's probably, I assume he's done after this year.
Last year.
Maybe you trade him for something minuscule at the trade. I don't know, but you just keep him for minutes.
Yeah, we keep him for veteran purposes, man. We gotta keep him for veteran purposes.
Gotta learn. Yeah. No, I feel that.
Yeah, nonetheless, solid conversation on the Wizards. You know, I never thought we'd spend this much time discussing the Wizards. But yet, here we are, 2026. Anything is possible. So, let's shift gears over for the last topic of the pod, man. Anthony Davis injured again. I was messing with you, Scott, the other day, and you had said head ass or some shit. I text you, bro. I said street clothes. And that's Anthony Davis' nickname at this point. I mean, the brother just cannot stay out of street clothes at this point of his career. But let's cut out the shenanigans. What team makes the most sense in the NBA to go out there and trade for a guy like AD? In a sense, it could be like a low risk, high reward because his value isn't necessarily high at this point in time. But you don't want to give up too much because all it takes is just one bump. He's out the lineup. So, nonetheless, what team should go out there and trade for AD?
You got one, DMV?
This dude, bro.
I'm gonna let you talk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got one off the top of my head. It's one that's been discussed. I think Golden State, right? Like that. It makes a ton of sense for Golden State. It's just like, where is AD's value? Like, is Kuminga a big enough?
What did he do to deserve all this, man?
Yo, bro. Okay, all
right. Like that.
I see how it is, bro. Cool. All right, bro. That was a serious answer. The Golden State Warriors. You were serious when you said that.
Yeah. Oh, I was being.
Oh, you okay? All right. What about you, DMV?
I'm not gonna lie. It gotta be a team who wants to win now.
Yeah.
So it gotta be a team who wants to win now. So I don't mean to seem like a hip hopper, but I say Golden State Warriors too because y'all are looking for that dominant big, like I said before. But it's like the thing is though, like. What you gonna have is AD gonna play the 5 because he's not because when AD was on the Lakers was he that guy playing the 5? Like I think he's more of a 4 than a 5. I think you got to.
I know he likes to play 4. Right?
Yeah, you got to.
That's his preference.
He has specified that.
Yeah,
numerous occasions.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's really gonna work out though. Like, you got to. Okay, so if I'm the Warriors and you trade for AD, you got to trade for AD. Then you got to. I know it might not. It's more easier than it sounds, but. You got to get a center. You got to get some type of center to back his play, if that makes sense. You can't have Draymond down there with AD. That's too small. That's too small.
You can work though. Defensively, that'll go crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
It will, but it's like the size though, man.
We can make it work, bro. We can make it work. But I don't want AD though, bro. I don't want
AD.
No.
What's wrong with AD?
He don't play. He's my guy Marshawn said it best right here. He's going to play it up.
I'm just thinking, like, if you could do it for something involved, because you're gonna trade Kuminga no matter what. Mm-hmm. But I do know AD is looking to get paid this offseason.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the detractor. Yeah, I do like the team homie put in the
chat. That's actually my choice. I think they can make it. They can give up Porzingis, Luke. Just other pieces. Heck, I wouldn't even be. Mad at it with a move. CJ, you know how I feel about CJ, the stuff he has done with the CBA, things of that nature. It sucks, man, but I think AD could go to Toronto or the Atlanta Hawks. I think that would make the most sense for real.
Toronto?
I never heard of Toronto. Dang, Toronto? That's a tall lineup there. So that's a huge.
Mm-hmm.
Who you gonna give up? You giving them quickly?
You give up quickly, Jacopoto. That's enough right there to get AD. You ain't even got to give up RJ, Scotty, or Ingram.
Do you want to give up quickly over?
Is the Mavs gonna accept it? Is the Mavs gonna accept quickly contract though? You gotta think about it quick. Like the Mavs gotta accept it too. You think Mavs accepting that?
They get a third team involved, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, I see where he's coming from now with the Warriors. Nasty work. So okay, that's where AD's value is. I'm just throwing stuff.
Yeah, we could just
sticks. But
I mean, sending him to the Sixers wouldn't be a bad idea. We could get Paul George mixing that frame, you know, Joel Embiid, AD in the front court. It would be a match made in heaven in the sense. I mean, those guys could be on the bench over there chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking of the plans for the summer. You know, we can do some yoga together. We can kick it. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. I think it would be a good fit.
We're getting younger in Philly.
Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid would not be a bad fit together, in my humble opinion, down there in Philly. You know what I'm saying? So,
bro. Oh nah, that's crazy. Yeah, AD. But you gotta think about it, when AD is healthy though, he is a dog. So like,
he is. Yeah,
he is. But that's the biggest thing. If
that is, you are right. Hey, you are right. You are right. What comparison?
I think the Hawks and the Raptors work because one, they're in the Eastern Conference.
Mm-hmm.
Two, it can work as like an illusion. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, it can look as an illusion to AD to make him actually think this gives me a chance to win a championship, right?
Yeah.
It's not really like, you know what I mean? Like, all due respect, like I do think the Raptors, I think the Hawks are good young teams right now. I think they're on the right track. I don't think AD is like jumping them to like a championship contender. So like, even if he got injured, I guess is what I'm trying to say, they're not on a track to win the championship this year. So you can kind of, even with him in and out of the lineup, you could get away with it, I guess.
Do the Mavs even
the money, man?
Yeah, do you think the Mavs trade AD? I mean, he did just get injured, so it's like, you think they trade him? If I'm if you okay, so if I'm gonna ask y'all two a question. If you're the Mavs, what you doing in this situation? You got Kyrie coming back, I think next year. I don't know when Kyrie coming back. It's been a lot of reports saying he come back there. I don't know when he come back, but you got Kyrie, Cooper, AD. You know, you can go out do something in the offseason. If you're the GM for the Mavs, what are you two guys doing?
I think it makes the most sense to just break it up. Like, they not doing nothing. I just let Cooper Flag, you know, do his thing, develop, and because you're not going to win anything in the West with this team, bro. It is what it is. You can't be too dependent on Anthony Davis to be a second option, you know, or even a third option. He's just not healthy enough, and it's not his fault though. His body's just simply failing him. Same thing with a guy like Zion. You know, but to answer this question right quick, I ain't want to shine this guy off. He said, what player comparison did Kuminga have entering the draft? It was they compared him to Kawhi the last time I checked. And they said was his mid his best offense? The numbers don't say that though, because his percentage from the mid range isn't good at all, honestly. So probably him getting down here, getting to the cup is his best offense, honestly. So I say that. But to answer your question, I don't think that they will win with this roster.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I would sell right now. You got Cooper Flag, who's going to be your anchor for the future. He's going to be your star. And just give Cooper Flag that room to like grow too, right? Bro. Like he likes to play a little bit of 4, a little bit of 3. So just give him the space to develop and grow. Get Anthony Davis, be fair to him as well. If that's what he wants, get him to a contender and let him, you know, try to go do things in the playoffs. But yeah, I would just try to surround Coop with shooters. Maybe they got Lively. He's injured this year, so they'll have him coming back. But yeah, I would just start to build the team around Coop straight up. I don't know Clay, like what's his trade value? Kyrie injured. I don't know what the trade value is for that either, but I don't know. I would just clear the way for Coop if I was the Mavs.
Yeah, I agree. Just send Clay back home. You know what it is. But I'm going to tell you, a dark horse team for AD to go is the Bulls. You know, that's his hometown team. You know, if you want to end his career up down there the next 3 to 4 years, perfect spot to be, in my opinion. So, yeah, I don't think they would have to give up a lot to get him neither. You know, give us somebody like Vucevic, a nice young player picks, and just make it happen. Yep.
Says the Mavs get Kuminga. It's interesting. That would be an athletic duo for sure. I wonder what the Bulls would give up, man. I'm just looking at their squad.
The Bulls, I think if the Bulls get AD, I think what's that going to do for them? Because like the Bulls, you don't forget, like they were mediocre with us, with Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan with us. You think adding AD on that team going to keep them in a mediocrity? Because if I'm the Bulls, I'm looking to not a rebuild, but rebrand, if that makes sense. So you add AD on the Bulls, what's that doing? I mean, you come in here, you from here, it's cool, but like, what you add of us? Like what you? I think, like really speaking.
I think it helps them more than it hurts them, though, because when you look at the construction of that team, Bulls fans hate Patrick Williams, bro. Like he sucks. Like, he's going to get paid a fair amount of money over the next couple of years. So them getting rid of a guy like that, maybe Kobe White, he's very good. But I think adding a guy like AD definitely helps them. It's an upgrade even over Nikola Vucevic for my money, I say. So I just think it helps them more than it hurts them.
It would solidify them as a playoff team in the East, right? But to your point as well, like it's not a championship, but I think Josh Giddey and AD, it would be interesting.
Buzelis pretty solid too,
Buzelis. That's what I was saying. Like, would Buzelis have to be in the trade though?
No, you should not get rid of him, bro. No.
I don't think so either.
You should not do that.
He's a freak athlete.
You should not do that, bro.
Yeah. Maybe like DeSumo, something like that. Kobe White, like you said.
So I got Can I ask a question for you two guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a question, right? Because I'm a Wizards fan. I know I don't want to get back on the Wizards topic, but I remember we were talking about Knuckle and Trae Johnson, right? So my question for you two guys will be, who do you think will have a better career-wise, Knuckle or Trae Johnson? And I don't want you to just think about the all-around games, right? Think about Knuckle. Yes, he has a great high IQ for the game, all that other good stuff. But Trae Johnson, he can shoot, he can do a lot of things, drive, create his own shot. Last year when he was with Texas, he was leading that team, 20 points per game. Khan was playing behind Coop, so it's like he couldn't really expand that bag. So, like, what's y'all thoughts on that?
Give me.
I'm biased, so I'll let Slim go first.
Give me Khan, bro. Like, I can't put Trae Johnson in that category with Khan yet. Like, I've seen enough from Khan to just be like, this dude gonna be a guy in this league. You know what I'm saying? Like, they may hand this dude the keys to the franchise one day. He's just that talented. He's just that good. He plays the right way, bro. Like, he don't force the issue. He plays within the floor of the offense. He plays smart. To your point, high IQ type of player. And he was able to expand his bag down there in Charlotte Post when he was with Duke. But nonetheless, when I look at a guy like Trae Johnson, very nice player, can shoot the ball for sure. But Khan Knuckle has the more well-rounded, balanced game in my opinion. So I'll have to go with Khan on that.
Yeah, I'm a Duke fan, so I'm gonna go with Khan for sure. But I do want to be fair to Trae. Like I get what you're getting at. Like he does have just that he's a pure scorer, to be clear. Like he can score from anywhere on the court. I think when you start comparing Khan with his draft class, the only people that I can even take over Khan right now are people that will be significantly better than him defensively. And because I think that's his weakness, like defense. I think his lateral quickness will be his downfall or his weakness overall. But Slim hit the nail on the head, man. He's shooting 48% from the field, 43% from the three-point line, 89% from the line. He's averaging 19 points, 5 rebounds, and close to 4 assists as a rookie. I get it, like potential versus like right now, right? Like who's ceiling. That efficiency is just crazy though. Like
okay. But let me add on to that.
Talk to me.
Let me add on to that, right? I don't mean to like persuade you in or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta realize the Hornets, LaMelo Ball was out. I think Brandon Miller was out too. They had a lot of injuries over there, so that allowed Knuckle to be that number one guy, and there's been reports that they want Knuckle to be that number one guy. So for you to be that number one guy, you have plays ran for you, right? You have off-ball screens. You have plays literally set for you. When I watch Wizards games, Trae Johnson is doing all this without any play set for him. I guarantee you this, man. He's doing all this without having any play set for him. Only play he will have set for him is coming off a down screen. And that coming off the screen shooting about that's what is that? What's that? I can do that. You put me in the league. You had me coming down the screen.
You're sleeping on Khan as a playmaker, though. He just makes the right play. Like, he ain't gonna do all the dribbling, but he'll just make the right play, bro.
I understand that.
I'm not hating on Trae Johnson. I do, as you say that, though, I do wonder, is that good for Trae Johnson development? Like, at the end of the day, right? To play that style at a young age and start to build those tendencies.
Well, I think we get a new coach. All right, we're gonna get a new coach, all right? We're gonna get a new coach. He's gonna play Trae Johnson more because when he was in Texas, he was playing like the one a little bit. He was jumping the ball up, using screen.
How's he gonna play with Trae Young?
But it's like
how's he gonna play big minutes with Trae Young? Trae Johnson's not a good defender. Like, correct me if I'm wrong.
You can make a lineup off that. You can have Trae Young. You can have Bilal. If you want to, you can. I mean, I wouldn't do this, but since you said that, you can have. That's see, you got. I can't.
You can't blame it on
me. Okay, but it's like, bro, Trae Young can elevate his game, man.
He can. I'm not hating
you, but like Trae Young had to redeem himself to get us to think that he's still that guy. Like, bro,
that efficiency
to an extent, bro. Like, when you look at the stats you mentioned, with all due respect, those can kind of be viewed as empty stats. Like, bro, no cap. The proof is in the pudding. The Atlanta Hawks was just a better team without Trae Young in the line. Like, they literally lost just about every game he's played in this season. Like, it's the truth. Like, you can talk about fit.
Out of the 10 games, they lost 8.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can talk about fit and stuff, which is true, but Trae Young gonna have to redeem himself for us to just put him in a category of like elevating others. Like, he's a good playmaker, don't get me wrong, but ultimately, is it translated to anything such as competing at the high level, things of that nature? So, yeah.
You can say that towards anything. You can say that about the Pablo. What's his name? Pablo Ventura. Pablo. Yeah, you can say that about his situation. The Magic won plenty of games when he was out too. So by that logic, you think Pablo he's hurting the Magic too? You know what I'm saying? I understand.
Well, you know Pablo is.
I know, but I'm just going by your logic. I'm going by your logic. I understand.
The thing with Trae Young, bro, Trae Young is a small, defensively lacking guard.
You're right. But
it's just a mismatch. Trust me, bro. Like, I come on the pod, I've talked with Slim about this with Jalen Brunson. Mm-hmm. This motherfucker averages 30 points per game. But when you get to the Eastern Conference Finals and the finals, he can't defend anyone. You have to hide him.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to win at the top level with that guy. So, like, I view Trae Young like that, but, like, even worse, though. Like, and that's no disrespect. I think to Slim's point, he's got to, like, recreate himself, get back to the efficient Trae Young. Like you said, leading the league in assists, but also shooting at least 35% from the three-point line. Like, get that efficiency back to that scoring Trae Young that we did know in Atlanta. He has fallen off the last few years, but that happens when you're injured, when you're in and out of the lineup, when the organization starts to lose belief in you. Right. You just need some new scenery. Hopefully it does.
Yeah. That can take it.
I'm not trying to bring you down. You know what I mean? Like, not at all. Like, I want you to be excited about your squad. Like, I'm not trying to be like.
No, man, I hear it all the time.
Trae Young, man.
I hear it all the time.
I mean, when you think about, like, I will say this: Dem McCoy and Trae Young is probably the biggest thing since, like, what, Bradley Beal was there. Honestly, something like that.
Yeah.
Like, when you talk about, like, the guard play, in a sense, like Russ. You consider Russ to be bigger than Bill? Like, in terms of in Washington, though. Like, Bradley Beal career in Washington. Russ was only there for like a season, right?
You're right.
So, yeah, like when John Wall left, then Bradley Beal kind of blossomed into that 30-point per game type of player.
Yeah, he was.
And so I think this is probably the biggest, signing since then. I say so.
In quite a while.
Man, it's a thing to kind of look forward to in a sense. Like to your point, I got cap space, a lot of young talent. Y'all can get better for sure. Y'all just got to hit on y'all picks and y'all signings.
See, Slim is speaking from this like championship aura like level.
Yeah,
like
he a Warriors fan. He can talk like that.
The Sixers aren't winning the championship this year either, bro. Like I know that. Like you know what I mean? Like I'll be happy to get out of the second round of the playoffs. Like that is my goal. Not to win the championship. Just get to the conference finals. Something.
Yeah,
Give me something.
for the first time in Joel Embiid's career, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Slim, I got a question for you. What you think it takes for any team to make the finals or win the finals? Since you're a Warriors fan, you have experience with that. What you think it takes for this day and age now?
The number one thing is sacrifice, bro. When you talk about winning at the high level, the years we was winning championship, it was sacrifice. Whether it was being Clay not getting the typical shots that he gets, or even Steph, like when KD first came over, he with that too, having a guy like Steph Curry definitely helps. But no, I say sacrifice, bro. Like you have to be willing to, sacrifice minutes. Certain roles on the team, you may not get this many minutes in a playoff series, but in the end, it'll all be worth it though. So taking that sacrifice, also like the togetherness, the continuity in the sense, like you all got to be on the same page, locked in. That's the only way you're gonna go far in a series for sure, brother. Everybody got to be on the same page, be able to make the proper adjustments, and be locked in from there, bro. You gotta chill out.
He gotta chill out, bro.
Bro, like this man's been trolling me the whole pod, bro. Like,
man, I swear, Marsha, funny boy. But nah, I feel that, Slim, because I mean that's what I look at the Sixers. I say, Paul George, you got to stop shooting, bro. Like,
yeah, you got to sacrifice. Like at this point of Paul George's career, bro, like it's not even about that. Like take your $50 million a year, fam. Take a step back. Let these young guys do that thing. Just be that podcast P.
Podcast P.
Nah, we need Embiid to make that sacrifice. It's Maxi's team now, right? So
yeah, the franchise.
But nah.
Yeah, but man, what a great pod, bro. Like to have our first guest on. Yeah, this was a fun one, bro. We gotta do this again for sure. Make sure you guys subscribe to my guy DMV on Filter on YouTube, bro. I'm gonna put his link in the comments so you guys go tap in with him. Washington Wizards fan. I never thought I'd be talking about the Wizards this long on the podcast, but hey, it's 2026. Yeah, on a Friday to be exact. We're talking about the Washington Wizards here, but nonetheless, we'll see what those guys going to do. Appreciate it, 10 out of 10. Much love to Martian. He finally came back at a perfect time. I haven't seen him in a minute though.
Hey, appreciate Martian.
But make sure you guys tap in with my guy DMV. As always, Slim Scotty back at it again. We'll be here again next week. Subscribe to the pod, though. I see a lot of people tapping in on X. Slide over to the YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. And turn those notice on. And you got anything you want to say before we get out of here, Scotty?
Nothing on my end. I'll throw it to bro. Appreciate having you on the pod. I thought this was fun. Like Slim said, come on the show in the future. We might not talk the Wizards as much, but we can definitely plug in some segments for you nonetheless, bro. I'm being dead serious though. I appreciate you coming on. This was dead ass fun. But
for sure.
What about you, brother?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, man. Like I said before, man. Like I said, even before I got on here, man, I've been watching this podcast for 2 or 3 months, man. It's like a full circle moment, man. So I just want to appreciate you for having me on here. Thank you for just, allowing me to share my voice, man. It really means a lot, because I'm a college student, man. This really my dream for. I really want to be talking about sports. So like, y'all don't even know that y'all really helping me out. Y'all give me motivation. So I want to thank y'all too for just doing that, man. And if you be watching this, man, and if you want to find my socials where I talk about Wizards hoops or just any basketball hoops, you can look me up on TikTok at Wiz Hoops TV, and I'm on Twitter at Wiz Hoops TV.
Yes, sir. Nice plug, man. Tap in with my guy, man, for sure. And Marshawn, you can kiss my ass. And with that being said, we out. Peace.
Peace, everybody. Appreciate y'all.